Estima, here with my brother Marcos Estima. I'm gonna be showing you guys some little details that changed a lot my way of doing Americana. You know, the way that I came up with it is like always try to cross-reference and understand the concept of the technique and why the technique works. And that's something that you guys should be always thinking about, asking, and always try to find out the why of the technique. When you try to understand the why of the technique, why it works, you always understand the concept, and like that you can make a technique in your own way. You know, for example, Americana was one of the techniques that I got very intrigued by because it was the very first technique that I ever learned Jiu-Jitsu, and I realized that it wasn't very effective in a high level. It was a high percentage technique, and I started to kind of try to analyze a little bit deeper, you know, and then I learned that little concept. One of my students that was sharing the concept with getting close to the what really matters, which is the shoulder, you know. So, for example, the normal Americana that we learn, okay, it is this way. I even remember how I used to think about the paintbrush, like to slide the hand towards the hip and the lift, and then go until you can feel that, right? He taps here. See that? Look, the shoulder goes move here to that. But notice that the hips is not really 100% under my control. Okay, so if the guys lift the hips up, look, you can see how much the range goes and he doesn't tap. And especially when he starts stretching the arm that way, and look how much it goes. And he cannot tap, he doesn't tap with that. So basically his elbow is pointing to the ceiling and not able to submit. Even if I pull that, that will be okay. But look how much it goes. Now, the shoulder, it is where it's supposed to be the lock in Americana, okay? Which is the most complex joint of our body, okay? So if you notice, I'm not even though the lock, it feels on the shoulder, I'm not even in contact with the shoulder at all. And it shows on an example here. For example, when Marcos is relaxing here, look how much he's very flexible guy. So look how, if my hand is on the position of Americana, look, there's nothing happening here, so there's no tension. Every lock is about stop the mobility and go beyond that. But if it is so much mobility, less, of course, you're gonna have a lot of movement to be able to go for the submission. But if I put my hand as close as possible to the shoulder, when he bends, look how the mobility is much less. He don't even touch the floor. See that? And this is him relaxed. He relaxes more and more. Look, see, he always comes back. So that means that the shoulder, it should be immobilized when I'm trying to do this kind of lock. So instead of going to the forward with the elbow, what I'm going to do, I'm going to the shoulder instead. Look at this. Now, if I get there, like a real naked choke, with the elbow close to the hip, and here, look at this. It's on. Look at the difference between the frame. Look how less movement I do. So this is a big deal, you know, because if you can avoid moving so much and getting so much effect of a technique, that means the concept is really good, you know. So now the matters now how to get there. Okay, usually what I think that I like to do, I like to aim the shoulder first. I like to turn the hips, turn that way. My shoulders there, control. Close to the hand, because I can manipulate the whole body. I move back to my hip, and then go for the rear naked choke. Now go to the hip and go do that. Okay? So this is one of the details that I think is going to make a big difference on my Americana, for the point that I couldn't get no black belts on it for like 6 years maybe. And then now, once I get that far, I can be able to submit anybody. So it becomes a very high percentage movement for myself. So think about that. One of the main lessons of this technique is like to understand to ask why things work and try to get your own conclusions and make your own technique and make a better technique, because Jiu-Jitsu is so open to improvement that it's always evolving. There's so much to explore out there as well. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you next time.